Well, welcome back to Ronnie's vlog. When I decided on this day to go out riding, it was a beautiful day, the sky was blue and there was no clouds. But by the time I got all my gear on and got Ronnie out, it started to rain a little bit and was overcast. And on this day, Ronnie decided to be a bit of a pain starting. So once I got it started, I gave it quite a few good revs. I love revving an engine. I love twisting the throttle and love hearing the sound of an engine rev. So I'm just getting ready to set off. I decided that I was going to go north, hopefully ending up in Amble, but I'm just going to let Ronnie take me where she wanted to go. My aim was to head along the coastal route up to Amble, up that way. Like, I always seem to stop at the first junction and check randomly that my zips are fastened and my pockets are fastened and that my phone and everything is still in place and hasn't fell out somewhere. Am I the only person that randomly checks their pockets all the time? So for those of you not local and don't know the area, this is the route I'm planning to take, the coastal route up to Amble. Goes all the way up along the coast. There's some beautiful scenery, some beautiful country roads which are national speed limit, and also goes through some lovely little towns and villages. Now you're not really getting to see the whole view ahead at the minute. That's kind of because my camera was aimed down slightly. I've done this partly deliberately because I wanted to catch a good view of my speedometer. If you listen to my vlogs and watch my vlogs, you'll know in the last one I mentioned an old man who told my husband that I ride too fast. So I decided to get some evidence to prove what sort of speeds I do. Now this is a national speed limit road. Soon going to be approaching a small little village which goes into 30 miles an hour and then 20 and then out into 40. But this stretch is 70 and I'm currently doing around about 40-50 because Ronnie can only really do 55. But don't worry, you won't be staring at my speedometer for the whole vlog. The camera will be getting adjusted at the next junction. We're leaving the village, so normal speeds will resume very soon, no longer having to stay at 20 miles an hour. The next little clip I've put the sound back on. Apologies for the sound of the wind, but I wanted to put it on so that you could hear something. Now listen very carefully. Did you hear it? There's a clock in the middle of that roundabout which chimes every hour. And basically it nearly gave me a heart attack when it went off as I went round. I don't think I know any other roundabouts that have a clock with a chime in the middle of it. Let me know if you've seen one before anywhere else, or if you've been caught out on that roundabout if you live up this way. Now typically I get a fast road and I get stuck behind a tractor. I'm not going to show you the whole time I'm stuck behind this tractor, but I am stuck behind it for a very long time, and many times I've pulled over a little bit to see if I could overtake, but I've not felt comfortable overtaking on the road that I'm currently on, mainly because of the view and also it being a single track road. So I decided to stay behind it, but you will see that I do manage to overtake it in a bit. Well, different road, but the view is adjusted so that you can actually see what's ahead instead of staring at my speedometer. But as you'll notice, same tractor. Now there was a few points where I wanted to overtake, but obviously the arrows that kept saying for overtaking traffic to get back in. I do pull out a few times to try and see, and at one point when I do finally manage to get enough speed to overtake, it doesn't give me a lot of space to pull back in after, but I manage it. I think I was just a bit impatient by this point. I think I'd been stuck behind this tractor for over half an hour at this point, so I was getting a little bit fed up, and it meant that I maybe took a few risks on overtaking it, but I managed okay. As I've said before, the good thing about recording my journeys is not just for the vlog, but also so I can watch back and notice mistakes and learn from them. So heading now onto the dual carriageway before we get onto the really good roads. Decided to return to showing both view of myself and of the road, because I thought maybe you're just getting a bit bored of just staring at the road, so you'll get to see me as well. You might notice that I've got my visor only partly down. I normally ride, when I'm not on dual carriageway roads or 70-mile-an-hour roads, I normally have my visor up, which isn't ideal if something were to fly into my face. But I don't know if anybody else can help me with this problem, but my visor gets very steamed up very quickly when I have it fully down. So I tend to have it slightly open so that at least there's some air getting through it, but that nothing can get into my eyes. We're returning back to just the view of the road, and we're just going around this tight bend, and we'll be going past the Woodward Museum and Woodward Nature Reserve. It's a lovely place to just pull in and stop got some lovely views and lovely walks. It's somewhere really nice that I like to go to. It's currently closed at the minute because of COVID, but it is a beautiful little hidden gem. There's plenty of these little hidden gems up this way. I'll just let you enjoy the road and the scenery for a little while, but I won't keep it going forever. I'm finally approaching Amble. I'm going to make my way through the town down to the harbour so that I can stop and have a nice hot drink. Now we're in Amble in the town, just going through the one-way system. There's one thing you don't know about me, my husband works for herons. So one of the little things that I like to do is spot herons shops. I'm trying to visit every shop. Not necessarily going in the shop, but just actually going past it, just ticking it off my list. So in a second we will be approaching Amble's shop, so I can give a little wave and then I can prove to my husband that I've been to Amble. So just arriving at the harbour, so just going around the bend and going down the path to the car park, where there is a lovely fish and chip shop which is currently closed due to COVID, but there are some lovely little coffee shops and little coffee stalls, and a lovely view of the harbour. A lovely place to stop and just have a drink and have a rest before returning home. overcast, but it looks beautiful. And had a lovely white chocolate, hot chocolate. I apologise for the state of my hair. I blame the helmet. I really need to get my hair sorted. I hate helmet hair. That's the only downside of riding a bike. That's probably such a girl thing to say. So getting ready to set off for the journey home. We're back on the dual carriageway. On this stretch of road there was a yellow lorry that was stuck behind me for a very long time. You can see that there is a junction coming up, which generally means if there's a junction coming up there is going to be a slip road joining soon. Now just as we get past this point here, when we just get past the road going off, he suddenly decides to try and overtake. And I don't know, maybe because he can only go 55 like me, I guess. He's kind of stuck beside me for the whole of this stretch here. You can see the sign for the slip road. And just as we're approaching the slip road, which is quite narrow, just coming into view now, you can see this black car coming speeding down. And you can see the yellow lorry overtaking me because I put on the brakes and slowed down a little bit. Luckily there was nothing behind, I did look. And that gave plenty of space for that car to actually get in front of me. It was a bit of a scary moment, but it kind of, looking back, it proves that my skills of riding are getting much better. I was a lot quicker at reacting. I looked in the mirror, checked that I could slow down, I braked a little and saved the situation. Now really I did have priority over the vehicle that was coming down the slip road, but I couldn't exactly argue that if I ended up over the top of his car. So fast forward a bit, I did do a couple of stops, and it's now getting to evening, one of my favourite times when it's dusk. It makes it very challenging with the sun being so low in the sky, and it makes me work a bit harder. I really love heading west at dusk. Other people hate it, I love it. We're almost home, so I'm going to sign off for now. And see you next time, and remember, please like and subscribe and share if you can. Catch you next time, folks.